On to the flipping game on Thursday. And obviously, Thursday is the next game for us. This is our season, bro. This is our season. Obviously, the first half of our season, the first game against Emery, old manager Villarreal. I don't even know how Villarreal have been getting on in the Liga because I don't even really follow the Liga like that anymore.
So it's basically Emery versus baby Emery on Thursday.
Allow that, bro. Allow that.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Man, I think about Emery's
Emery's
win records better than Arteta's, and I've seen that a lot recently. Yeah, but man, I have to remember when Emery was at Arsenal. Yeah, firstly, that first season that unbeaten run he went on, that run was fake. That run was fake. I was there for every game, bro. You get me? We were struggling. Man was making 2 subs at half time because we kept getting it wrong in the first half. We'd scrape a win or scrape a draw, and we'll fluke in a few wins. You get me? Fair enough. It's results, isn't it? Cool. The football was dead. Yeah. And then in the second season, when Emery's there, man forgetting we used to throw away leads for fun. Teams were peppering.
Yeah, I know. I remember the game when you dragged me to the Emirates and I didn't want to come that day.
What, Brighton?
Yeah. You got me sitting there thinking I need to leave. You know the ones there getting bumped for the whole game.
They remember the Watford game where they had about 25 shots.
Bro, they had about 25, 30 shots. And they were, and that was a common theme. Leno was like one of the most worked goalies in the league. He was getting peppered. Yeah,
he was.
You get me? So man, I really remember it wasn't all good under Emery. You know, Emery.
I'm not saying that. When I say baby Emery, I'm running bands because I already told you that in terms of the structure of the team, Arteta's improved us. Yeah, bro. Everything else, like we're meant to take on. We got rid of Emery to take on somebody else that is young, that can learn, and obviously be a part of the club and help bring in his fresh ideas based on he's got a big reputation in terms of his understanding of the game. You don't have a big reputation in terms of experience, but understanding of the game. And I don't think I've really seen that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think I've really seen what they scream. I'm not going to lie to you. All I see is that we don't get smoked, but we don't get results, bro. At the end of the day, when you look at his record, it's diabolical. It's awful, fam.
Yeah, but you have to remember, and I've said this before, bro, there's certain factors you have to take into account here that he's coming to be a manager off the back of, obviously, Wenger was moving mad. Emery's come in was moving mad. So he's had to clean up the mess that they've left now. He hasn't come into a fresh thing with a blank checkbook. He's come in here working with the same dead players that Dead Man failed with, for one. He's come in now. He's had to sort out the defense that Emery had. Hence why he went 5 at the back because you know what, we can't let in goals. We got to shut that down. Yeah, we went 5 at the back, and then we're playing like a conservative style football, trying to get to Aubameyang to try and nick a goal and holding on. That was our plan when he first came in. Since then, he's changed it to what he actually want to play. A 4 at the back. Brought in Partey, brought in Gabriel, so he's able to change to 4 at the back, which has changed our system. And so then man were complaining. Remember, before man was saying we don't create nothing. You get me? So now we're creating a bit more chances, not loads, but we're creating a bit more chances, getting a bit more fluent. So he's improved that. He's improved playing out the back. Remember when Emery was there, we couldn't play out the back for nothing. That money is a laugh at us, bro. Like what they go long. Now you can't say, obviously now we make the odd mistake, all clubs do, but you can say that when we're playing out the back, we look a lot more assured playing out the back than we did under Emery, bro. So Arteta's done that. And the biggest factor, he hasn't had no time on the training pitch, bro. He hasn't had that time. So it's
Ancelotti though. Ancelotti.
Coach. Yeah, but Ancelotti got X amount of million to spend on players, on established players that he wanted to bring in. For one, Ancelotti is an experienced manager. And also the expectation at Everton isn't the same as Arsenal. You know that. You get me?
But what my point is, is I hear all of that, and I respect your point. But bro, that team is not the 10th best team in the league, fam. It's not.
No, it's not. All right.
And it's not 13 losses either. It's not.
But Liverpool's not the 7th best team in the league either, are they?
Yeah, but
it's been a mad season, bro. You have to accept that as well.
Trying to break every record out there, fam.
He's not trying.
He is.
But again, like I
He
said,
is. He's not trying. He is. That's what I'm saying. He is, bro. He is. Like,
do you think he told Leno to dash the ball in the net? Do you think he told Xhaka to strangle my man?
You know what
Do you
happens
think he told
after a
Pepe
while,
to go and
yeah?
headbutt, man? Do you think
You know
he
what it is?
did what
After a while, it just comes down to you're the manager, innit? Like, fam, if even at goals, bro, yeah, if you, and that's not even at a high level, if you're managing a team or a Sunday league team and man keeps doing a madness, it drops down on the manager, bro. You pick him. So it's like, I hear what you're saying, but then it's like, if you got a child and the child keeps misbehaving, even though you do things the right way, you're a lovely person, you create a structure in your yard, but you use out a road doing foolishness, yeah? It comes down to you, bro. You're still responsible for that person. So it's
at some point, the buck
it becomes like, okay, cool.
But also, and what ain't being distributed fairly is the criticism of the players, bro. Because you think, bruv, think about it. When Emery and Wenger was there, yeah, they had Aubameyang scoring goals, yeah, cool. Aubameyang's moving mad this year, bro. And that's a big factor.
But
that's a big factor in terms of where we are in the league. You get me?
Yeah,
if
Aubameyang
had 10 more goals, we might be full for fifth.
But then I also look at that as the structure of the team as well, though. If you put Aubameyang in position to score, he normally does score, and that's the problem. I think when you look at Aubameyang's, Arteta was setting him up, and the way that Arteta was setting up the team in general, we're not set up in a position in a way that actually creates a lot of chances. He was playing him for ages on the left. To me, I've never thought Aubameyang was good wide anyway, because I feel like when you play him wide, it effectively limits the amount of creativity that we have within the team, because you're basically playing two forwards, effectively, two strikers. So if you play him through the middle and you allow him to be the guy that, he's not going to be able to hold up the ball amazingly, he's not going to do those things, but play through strength. He's good off the ball. You have someone in a number 10 that allows you to, dictate play, passes, makes little triangles that allows him to get space. We're not doing that. So for me, and obviously this year he hasn't been as good, but he's obviously gone through other stuff though, innit? Like his mum was sick, he's had malaria. So I think it hasn't been, and when you look at his goals, it's still not as bad as it was looking. It was looking ropey at one stage.
But his all-round game isn't far from Eddie's at the moment, though. You know that? It's not far.
Yeah, but I think there's been extenuating factors. That's what I'm saying. I think if you look at me personally, I think he's done enough for you to say, all right, cool, fair enough. He hasn't had the best season. But since he's come to the club, normally, he's been reliable. So you can look at some of the extenuating factors and say, do you know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt because of what he's done in the past. Like, bruv, Lacazette over the period of since he's been at the club hasn't been great. And I think he gets more allowances than Aubameyang does, even though throughout the whole time he's been at Arsenal, he's effectively been dead. Or not, let me not say dead, but he's not been what we expected him to be. Bruv, he's never got 20 goals. Never, not once.
But you know what it is,
a lot of the time,
but then at the same time, that's still on you, though. And there's times that he's also, we've accommodated him.
With Lacazette, though, if Lacazette
ain't
playing well, one, he's not. Let me start from the beginning. One, he's not the captain. Yeah. One, he ain't the highest paid player at the team. Two, and not only that, he leads better than Aubameyang. Certain times you'd think Lacazette's got Laca's got the armband. For me, bruv, you're out here skinning teeth, getting weights by John Stones. Sorry, like fam, when we're losing, man's just dragging his heels, looking like he can't be bothered, fam. Like, sorry, bro, you're the captain. Like,
but all that captain stuff. I don't think he's a captain personally.
Okay,
he was the best player. He was the best player, and at the time,
but on paper, just like we say, Arteta don't get results. On paper, he's the capo. So, like, if you're not gonna be the capo, then tell man you don't want it, innit? Don't run around skinning teeth with the thing on your arm. Like, that's there.
But then what is a captain? But what you're talking about is on paper. On paper, the things that you want from a captain is not on paper. That's your own personal opinion of what you think a captain should do.
So
every captain's different. No, every captain's different. What I'm saying is everyone's way of leading is better. Some captains are cool with everyone.
Cool,
Some captains are gonna shout and not be liked, but be dominant.
Let's
Roy
talk about
Keane,
a captain that's
Gerrard.
like Aubameyang then.
All right, let me finish. Let me finish.
Go on, lad.
So there's some. So there's exactly.
Go on, lad. Go on.
Exactly. So there's some captains that all do different things. When Aubameyang, because you could say easily last season he led by example, and like I said, there's been extenuating circumstances now. But we're going through bad periods, and he was the only one that was scoring, the only one that was dragging us through certain situations, like the FA Cup final, like the FA Cup semi-final. When we were in a bad situation, he led by example, and he's liked by everyone in the dressing room. I don't look at him as, for the type of captain or the leadership skills that you lot are talking about, I've never looked at him as that kind of captain. The captains in that fight, in my opinion, is David Luiz and Xhaka. In the ones that actually lead by example, and you could even put Bellerin but he's just not as good. But you could put him in there in terms of maybe he leads from a social injustice or anything like that. I think Bellerin will be at the forefront. He's probably the biggest speaker within the club. Everyone has different roles to play. The type of leadership that you're talking about, that's never been Aubameyang's strength. But what he has done in the past is led by example. This season, I'll give it that he hasn't been as thing, but I think there's been extenuating circumstances. Like his mum sounded like she was in a very bad way, and he had malaria. You see what I'm saying? So that would affect anyone, in my opinion.
Okay. How long has he had malaria for?
I don't know. I know his doctor, bro. Couple of weeks.
Well, he ain't had malaria all season. This is what I'm saying to you. So.
Yeah, but his mum's been sick though. This is what I'm saying. Man can't just if my mum was sick, it would affect me at work. I would still try my best to be professional because he didn't over talk about it, but it would affect you potentially. On top of the fact that you're playing out of position, the team's not doing well as a whole, and everyone's now saying, it's because you got a new contract. You know what I'm saying?
No, but okay, but when he was on the left, he's been on the left for Dortmund as well, slapping goals. When he was on the left, but he was though. When Lewandowski was through the middle, they weren't playing 4-4-2. They weren't playing 4-4-2.
But the majority of the time when he scored big goals was when he played through the middle.
Because you've had your time. You know,
let me land. All right, fella.
So when he was at Dortmund, he played on the left. He slapped goals. Obviously, down the middle at Arsenal, he was there for the first 3.5, 4 months when he joined the club. He played down the middle in the league. Laka was playing in the Europa or whatever else. He scored goals. Even in that time, that down the middle, he was getting pocketed unless it was against the lesser teams. Correct me if I'm wrong. When Emery came, Emery managed to create some chemistry between Aubameyang and Laka where they were slapping goals. The pundits were talking like, boom, this and that. Everyone was screaming, Laka and Aubameyang, blah, 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 blah. When Emery lost his job, Arteta'S come in, played him on the wing. He's banging goals, skinning teeth, banging goals, nicking the winner, rare. It's all good, isn't it, This season now, bruv, like, he's got the contract, and people are always going to connect the contract because I don't think that's necessarily true, but people will always connect the contract. They did it to Ozil. But because it was Ozil, it was cool. Everyone could run with that and rare. Man's coming out here.
We said it was wrong, though.
No. We're not talking about us. We're talking in general, innit? Because it's a general perception, innit? Man's coming in there, skinning teeth with extensions on, and then walking across the pitch for the whole.
Hey, you're killing me.
Man's coming in skin and teeth extensions, bruv. Like, other man. And then you're taking the mick. You're coming on and playing against Liverpool, and man's basically moonwalking across the pitch. He's taking liberties, fam. You're the captain. And he's not leading, and this is what my thing is. He's not leading by example, at the moment. He was before. He's still the captain. That doesn't change. He's not leading by example, And like, maybe you might call me old school, but fam, the team's getting smoked. You're not playing well. You got personal issues, cool. You're coming in to work with extensions and skin and teeth, and then basically coming on the pitch and not leading. You're not playing well. You're not leading. Like, you're not even like, bro, you see Ozil, I see Ozil will kick man down once in a blue moon and tell my man, shut up and get up. And he's soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, because he's upset, he's frustrated. I don't even see that. I don't see that with Aubameyang. I see everybody else that's in and around him trying to galvanize the team, and my man's just sulking, walking across the pitch, half jogging, sulking, and he's been like that the whole season. Man can't tell me no different. He's been,
brilliant, fam. If I'm being honest with you,
and
performance
if you want to talk about captains that are like him, David Beckham was quiet and humble and led by example. And I can never say that David Beckham hasn't showed ultimate professionalism. I can't see that. He tries, he works his socks off regardless of the result. Aubameyang doesn't do that. He don't do that. And then when he's playing up front, he's getting pocketed by anyone.
This is why I disagree. But
no,
yeah.
but I'm not, bruv, when he played against Man City, he tried to go down the outside of John Stones, couldn't get away with him. A man gave him his shoulder and bounced man into the corner flag.
What Mia said, obviously, that's an isolated incident. That happens to anyone in a one-off. So I hear what Missy said. I hear what you're saying. My thing is, I don't expect Aubameyang to lead. I don't think he's a leader. But my issue is more of his performances, isn't it? And his application. I just don't think, all right, cool, you're not scoring, you're not playing well. But before, he used to be putting a shift in. You used to see him running back, doing them challenges, and you kind of stopped doing that for me. And that's what it was. And to me, that you now become ineffective and a passenger. And we're not good enough as a team to have passenger. That's my thing. And I think that's had a big impact on our results because, a lot of the time he was our, for some reason, I'm not really feeling like that, but he was our go-to. And the team was geared up to give him kind of like a Tottenham. See, Tottenham's geared up to give Kane the chance. We were geared up to give him the chance, and he meant to finish it, and he weren't finishing, or he weren't even getting into areas, weren't making runs. So his performances have been off. Get me? And man was saying that obviously he's done a lot for us, and he won us the FA Cup, and rare, cool. And you know what? True. But my thing is, this season you haven't been at it, and that has had a big impact on our league position. On certain performances, and we have to be real with it, bro. Yeah. That is something also that man will battle Arteta with. You get me? He's not getting the best out of Aubameyang. He's not. Come on, man. Like you can't blame Arteta for everything, bro. You get me? And like, what do you think? You think he sent Aubameyang to go and miss open goals?
But then I think with, and I agree with what Carl, I agree with what you're saying, because. And I think that now he shouldn't start based on form or whatever. I don't think he should just jump into the team. If it was everyone on form now, personally, I would play Saka, Lacazette, and Pepe. And I think that they've had the best balance this year. But what I think it is, like I said, I think there are factors that are outside of man's control that may contribute to his performances. And I think that as we've looked at what's come out and what's been revelations that have come out since for the reasoning, I think it's a fair reason as to why you may have gone down in performances. Do I think he should be captain? Personally, no, because I don't think he's a leader in that way, in my opinion. And I think it was just a circumstance in that Xhaka had that madness and you couldn't give it back to him. And he's our best player. And they probably thought, you know what, give him the responsibility, he might want to leave or whatever. Cool. But do I think that now, because of that, I just throw the 2.5 years where he was the only the only one scoring consistent? Because even when you said that Lacazette and Aubameyang were banging goals, and they were both in that season, Lacazette only scored like 12 in the league. Like it wasn't, or 13 or something. It's never, Lacazette's never been prolific. What he has done is been good in certain big games, especially earlier in his career. I think under Emery and that. In the big game, he's been a big game player, and I respect him. And I think he looks after the ball. He's been he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not locking Lacazette. What I do think, though, is that I think we need to move on from him, and I don't think he's good enough to get us to where ultimately we want to go long term. And when you look at his age, contract, and whatever, and even with Aubameyang, I think maybe if they looked at it differently, you look at his age, you look at the contract that you gave him, and all of that. Would Wenger have done it? Maybe not. Would he have looked at somebody younger? But do we trust our scouts to find somebody that's going to give us what Aubameyang was giving us at that time? Probably not either. So I think there's pros and cons to if you have done it. But now you've done it now, I don't think man should just be getting on his back consistently based on the fact that he's not playing well now when he's been one of our best players for the last 2.5 years. I think and there's extenuating circumstances. That's my thing. But I don't think he just is a given that he should be in a team or is a given that he should start based on form, because there isn't, in my opinion. Now he might start because Lacazette's injured, but Yeah, I think people are a bit too harsh on him, considering
you start him against
what
Villarreal.
he's only if Lacazette's not fit. Because the thing is, I probably would potentially still play Martinelli, but he doesn't trust Martinelli, so I don't think that's realistic. So I probably would, just based on the fact that I think he could still give us something against a team like Villarreal. The thing is, with teams like Villarreal, they're not going to rough him up. They're not necessarily the quickest. So he could play well in a game like that. I think the games that he would struggle with is teams that are just definitely better than us, for one, and we don't have the lion's share of possession, or we're not trying to hit him early. And for two, if it's like physically imposing athletic centre back. I think that's when he may struggle in a game like this. I think now, I would play him because I have more confidence that he will score than Eddie, definitely. And even Martinelli, in regards to, because he hasn't played enough up front this year, I think to just throw him in, if Aubameyang's available, I'd probably go with Aubameyang personally.
What about this?
What would you do?
As a bit of a wild one. Because I don't think Aubameyang's going to be back. Because I heard the man talking the other day about he's lost weight and that, and so I don't know if he'll come back and play
he
like that.
He'll be back for the second leg.
I think Laka. I wouldn't rush him back for this game because his hamstring. There's no way, if he had a hamstring injury, there's no way he's ready for the game, innit? So my thing is, I think he should try Pepe up front.
He's just not going to do
it. That's never going to happen.
As a striker.
Yeah, he's just not going to do it.
That's never going to happen.
Pepe up front and then put Martinelli on the wing or Smith Rowe on the wing and then Odegaard and Saka. That's what
I just think he's never going to do it. I think he could try it, but I think if he's not going to try it for the Everton game, he's not just going to bring that in. I don't see that.
Maybe he might have seen Eddie.
He might play Martinelli, but he will never play Pepe.
Yeah. I think he's just risk adverse. So he's not going to try like a risky thing in a game that means so much. He's going to try in the first leg to just make sure that we don't get battered. Like, try and nick an away goal. If we can get away with 1-0, then he'll take that. I don't think he's going to try and win the game.
I'm surprised if he plays, sorry to cut you, if he plays Odegaard, Saka, Smith Rowe, and Eddie or something.
Eddie, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he done that. That's not my lineup. But I would not be surprised.
Pepe will play.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know. Because Pepe, because he doesn't
feel disconnect there, fam. There's a disconnect.
He doesn't feel Pepe, in my opinion. And I think there's been enough evidence to show that for whatever reason, Pepe is just not this type of player. Whether he thinks he loses the ball too much, he doesn't do exactly what he says. He doesn't fit. In my opinion, he doesn't feel Pepe. There's been too many incidents. Like, anytime Pepe plays well, even his comments, like Mita said, he will always talk about, now he just needs to be consistent, or he needs to do that every week. And he doesn't do that. Even when Willian played well against Leicester, the energy was different. And that's the only game he's probably played well this year. Maybe that and Fulham. So I just think that there's whatever reason, him and Pepe, he doesn't feel those kind of players. But the irony is that Pepe will be the reason why he wins games or keeps in the job, because he needs someone that's going to do something a little bit outside of the box, and he still creates chances. And every time he plays, there's still one time in the game when he either scores or does something that will lead to a goal, whether it's a good chance that he creates or a goal that he could score. So I don't know. I don't know.
I think he's a bit like me in my thinking, in terms of he likes intelligent players, isn't it? Pepe is not someone who always makes intelligent decisions. I think he's got better in the last few months, like in terms of playing in the league. I think he's actually got used to the league now, innit? So he knows certain things. You can't just put your foot on the ball and try and take liberties. Like, he knows that the Premier isn't that, innit? You get me? But I always say it to Mita as well. I don't think that he can play on the right. I don't think he's one of them left-footed players like a Mahrez or a Robin that can play on the right, cut in and bend it. He's got that ability to bend it, but he hasn't mastered his craft yet. He hasn't mastered his trick where he can earn himself a yard and get that shot off.
He's not efficient when he cuts inside.
Very predictable. Like, man know and man see it a mile off, and it doesn't work, innit? You get me? So go on.
A part of that I was just gonna say, a part of that for me though is rhythm. And I think that he's never had 10 games where he said, you know what, I'm gonna play you 10 games. I'm gonna play through the like the bad things that you do, to just try and see if I can genuinely give you an opportunity to kind of find yourself. Because he was doing it for Lille. that's the thing.
That's against pubmen and farmers and that, bro. That's you can't.
No, I don't agree with that though, because Leon came and slapped City last year, and PSG's in the semis this year, and Leon ain't even top of their league. So I feel like man always discredit the French league, but man gets slapped by French teams and then say it's a one-off.
No, I'm saying, certain things you can certain badness you can carry on with in the French league. You're not carrying on with that in the English.
No, but I've seen Pepe run up on PSG. I've seen him run up on PSG though.
It's a one-off game, bro.
So you say that, yeah? His stats say that he turns up in big games. His stats say he turns up in big games. So you say that one-off game, but all of our big games, he's got he contributes when we're winning, or we're getting a good result. He's contributed.
He's had a couple of good games against Man United, isn't it? That's about it.
He played well against Liverpool as well. He played well
against City.
No, not this year, but even when he first come in, he moved to Van Dijk. He was the only one that gave him any trouble. But you can't do that though, because he did.
What did he do? What did he do?
But this is how it changes.
You know what?
This is where it changes.
I heard what you're saying, yeah. That if he played well in that game, I remember that was when I think Emery actually played him up front. He played up front in that game.
Yeah.
And he done well, but even in that game, there was a time when he got through, went past Robertson, and he probably should have scored. Blood. You get me? And it's those margins. It's those margins, isn't it? You get me? Like, and that's the thing. Like, you have to be reliable.
Yeah, but if you start doing that, you could draw for Bear, man.
I'm not
anyone in our team, because Saka misses.
Saka's a specialist at that, bro. But I'm not going to do that because I respect Saka. I'm not going to do that. You can say that about anyone, though.
No, I hear what you're saying. I do hear what you're saying. And the thing is, I like Pepe. I do like him, but I just think that I can't trust him. I can't trust you. Whereas Saka, I know that I can trust you. You get me?
But my thing is, he probably don't trust Arteta either. So in that, sometimes there's certain players, and bro, you've played as well. There's certain times when the manager trusts you, or the manager is confident in you, and that gets the best out of you. So you might say, okay, cool, make mistakes. Like I know me, obviously, we all attack-minded players. There's times when you know that you're gonna have to do certain things, that you're gonna have to take risks. And if you have the manager's trust, like I know Wenger would have said to Pepe, do you know what? I'm going to play you through this nonsense, like play you through some of the bad decisions that you make on the pitch. Because I know that if I start to play you in rhythm and I start to tell you these things and coach you while you're still being you, I'll get the best out of you. Similar with like a Arshavin. When Arshavin used to be in the time and it'd be frustrating, Wenger will play him knowing that he creates chances for the team and he creates openings that will allow him ultimately to score goals or get the best out of him. There's other players I could go on, but
Sanchez as well.
Sanchez, exactly. Sanchez
he
is a big
found the player in Sanchez that man didn't even know was there because he weren't moving like that, licking shots from 25 yards top bins for anybody else. He weren't doing that.
I just think Arteta's too risk adverse, and that's why he would rather play a Willian, who he can trust. He's not going to lose the ball, and he's not going to make a mistake, but he's not going to score ever. He's not going to score, not going to really assist much, not going to actually
earn a penalty. He's not going to do anything.
He's not going to do anything. So it's like, you can have players that you trust that are functional, but at some point you need someone that's going to be able to break the lines for whatever reason and do something that moves the other team. And apart from Saka, Pepe's the only one that can do it. Pepe and Martinelli can do it, but Pepe is the best in our team at doing it, even in front of Saka. Saka's just more reliable in general. His whole play is more reliable. In terms of creating chances and scoring, Pepe is the best from wide areas in our team.
I have to disagree. Honestly, I have to disagree. I have to, bro. Because Saka, if you put him on the left, his crossing is 10 times better than Pepe. You saw that from his first season. He got that 12 assists from his crosses were ridiculous. They put him on the right this year. He will beat his man. And if he ain't beating his man, he's retaining possession, carrying it, getting us up the pitch. And more often than not, like he's shooting, the finishing is not great. That's the one thing he's got to work on, his finishing. But he always looks like our biggest threat, our biggest outlet, bro. Always. Like
do you know what it is? I agree and disagree. Like I think he's been the best this season, 100%. But I don't think he is always our biggest goal threat from wide areas. I think he is always he's consistent. That's what I think with Saka. His consistency is unmatched. I think he's been the most consistent player probably in the team. Him and Tierney when Tierney's been fit. But I think in terms of he misses chances, And that's the main thing for me.
Yeah,
and I just think that he doesn't put himself a lot of the time in positions where he's going to always score. And I think that's the difference. Like, he doesn't put himself in positions to score, else he would score so much. Like someone like Sterling, for example. Sterling misses chances, but Sterling puts himself in so many positions that he can score. He will just get a lot of goals. And Saka needs to he needs to improve in that. I always think he's going to be more of a creator than a scorer. But I think he has to get into more positions where he can score, and also he needs to be more clinical. Like, how many times have we seen Saka on the far post maybe get a tap in or a header? He's not immediately thinking along those lines. And I think that's where he needs to improve. But that's why I think you have both. I don't think you need one or the other. I think you play
100%,
both.
100%.
And that's what I think. But I think Pepe is more of he's going to create a chance or a goal from like an assist or a goal, where Saka is more, his overall play is more probably threatening, if that makes sense. And I think that's where the difference is.
So so against Villarreal, would you start both of them?
Yeah, 100%. Especially with the injuries. But I would start both of them anyway.
100%.
Yeah, I would play.
Are you starting at the back?
I would start personally. I would start Mari and Gabriel, but I think he's going to start Mari and Holding. And then if Luiz is back, then he would play Luiz and Gabriel. That's what I think he'll do. But I think it'll be Mari and Holding. Yeah, that's what you said. To be fair, again, the injuries make it a bit tougher. I would have probably played. I think you go with Xhaka now. I think he's played all right there.
By the way, what's going on with Cedric? Is that like a?
I think he's just made mistakes in key times, and I think he's just thought, you know what, I'm gonna just go. Maybe you're better at right back, and you can be cover at left back if anything. But I think Cedric, although I think he's been good, I think he was playing really well at right back personally. But I think at left back, he's made enough mistakes for you to go, okay, if Xhaka hasn't made that many mistakes. Because the thing is, even a mistake against Everton, it's a mistake, but it's more like I'm not a left-back mistake. And like, it's just a blunder. Cedric's made some blunders that's like, come on, like, what are you doing? And I think
you're a defender
he'll
as
go
well.
with
You're
Xhaka.
a natural defender.
Yeah. So I think he'll go with Xhaka. I think he'll go Xhaka left back. And I understand that. Then I'd play Partey, Ceballos, just because of process of elimination. I don't trust Ceballos, but
I can't stand Ceballos.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
He takes too many touches, but every time he gets the ball, he has to take 10 touches before he passes it.
Yeah,
I don't
10
understand
touches,
that.
shimmy left, shimmy right, look around.
He's got no. It's like before he gets the ball, he hasn't scanned the pitch to see. He doesn't know his next pass. He's got no pictures, bro.
And for me, he takes risks in areas that don't affect the team. Like you'll play like a risky outside of the boot pass to a right back on the edge of your box, and it's like, but Mav, do that at the top of the pitch or just pass it simple. Like, he just makes too many unnecessary. It's like the header against Benfica when he's just tried to head it back to Leno, and it's like, why would you take that risk when you're last man? This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but you know what? See with him, there's been a few games in the Europa League, where he's moved mad. You know that. I don't know if I can trust him in the Europa League. I think Arteta might go Elneny because it's the first game away.
Yeah.
First game's away as well. So
he might, but I think he's just shown that Elneny, he's kind of lost, not favour, but I think he's looking at Elneny as more of a utility man than Ceballos, where he might think, we're playing Spanish opposition, we want to keep the ball. He might not be as Ceballos is better when teams don't like attack him as much. And maybe they won't press him as high as maybe a physical team would. So I would still probably just edge it to Ceballos, but I don't, not by much.
Not.
And then then I would probably, depending on fitness and who we're playing, if we're playing Martinelli up front, I might play Ødegaard, just because I think when Lacazette plays, Smith Rowe plays better because he runs off of the ball and he runs beyond. And Lacazette can go deep and dictate, because Lacazette's quite good at linking up the play. If you play a Martinelli or a Aubameyang, I'll probably play Ødegaard, because Ødegaard's a little bit more of a conductor, and those guys will make more runs off of the ball. And like, they'll probably play on the last man a little bit more. So if we play Aubameyang or Martinelli, which looks like it will probably happen, I'll probably play Ødegaard and then play Pepe and Saka each side.
No, Villarreal playing Barcelona today still.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it. Still. See what they're saying.
Because who are their danger men? I don't even know if they got any. Have they got any madman wingers?
I think it's Moreno's. They're kind of like their big
Moreno,
player.
You see that the chances that we've been giving away in games, if you give them to Moreno, he'll punish us. Still.
He'll take him. Yeah,
he'll hold a brace against us.
What's he, a winger? Is he a winger or a striker?
Striker.
Is he quick?
He's a striker, but
he's a typical Spanish guy.
He's like intelligent.
Average pace, good feet, knows where the goal is. He's that type of player, basically.
No, because you know what, with us here, I always worry when the team's got like a mad quick player or something. They're normally the players that damage us in it, because you know what I'm saying. Whereas if they're slow in that, I'm not.
He's intelligent though. He's intelligent.
But man, that Mario and Holding aren't quick in it, so that's my thinking.
Yeah.
And
but one thing I'd say about Mari is Mari's quite an intelligent defender. Like, because he's not like the quickest, he looks like he's reading the games quite good and stuff. I'll be honest, people underestimate that signing, you know. That's one thing I'll say to them. That's been a good signing for the money. At most 8 million they're saying it is. Like, that's been a snip when you look at it. They do.
Doesn't get credit. Come on. Arteta knows him from Man City, bro. Yeah. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to give me.
Yeah. So what do you reckon the score will be first leg?
I think 1-0.
I don't. If I'm being honest, I don't really know much about them, but I don't really rate the Spanish opposition. After I see Man United slap up Sociedad, and I'm thinking, and Sociedad are one of the better teams in the Spanish league, and I don't know. I think Spanish teams are a bit weak, man, and they got. Yeah, I don't know. I'll say 1-0 to us.
I think the difference with this game specifically is obviously Emery. Emery is going to do a lot of. He's able to study the team. He knows the team, and he knows probably a lot of our weaknesses. I wouldn't be surprised.
He knows the vulnerabilities in our team. He knows the vulnerabilities in our team.
So that's what makes this game trickier than maybe, I don't know, a team like Granada, who might even have been better on paper this year. And I don't know. I think Villarreal is actually doing better than them now, but on paper, but they don't have know-how. Like Villarreal have a couple of players that will have know-how and a manager that knows the team. So that's where it's tricky. But my issue with Arteta is if we went out all guns blazing to just like take their soul away, I think that we would have a better chance. But I think he's going to be cautious, and that actually is going to give them a bit more impotence than it should. You see what I'm saying? Like we should go out like how we played against Slavia Prague, against all of these teams, but we won't. I don't think. I think initially we'll be a bit. You know what I mean?
It looks like from their lineup here, it looks like my man's not resting. No, he's playing their strongest team against Barcelona. He's not resting no one. They got Etienne Capoue in them, man.
Yeah, they got a couple of players. I think they've even got Coquelin.
Coquelin's on the bench today. They got Paso Alessa. He gets goals, isn't it? Alessa, that striker, the Spanish sheet. Pau Torres, Juan Foyth, the little Tottenham guy, he's there as well. Yeah,
Pau Torres is a good defender, though.
Is he good? Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good defender. We've been linked with him a few times, and Man United as well.
I heard something on FIFA. He's slow though, man.
Yeah, he's not like on FIFA. Yeah, not a quick defender. He's more like he's more like good on the ball and like organized and all that, but not an athletic defender. So that's why I would play Aubameyang, because Foyth's not the quickest either.
Martinelli.
I just don't know if he trusts him. That's it with me with Martinelli. I just don't think he trusts him. I would definitely play Martinelli over Eddie though. 1,000%. 1,000 times over.
Yeah. That's gonna be an interesting one. Still, you have to get the result anyway, bro. Because boy, if Emery gets the better of Arteta in that one, then that second leg could potentially come down to that could be Arteta's last game.
Emery can cost him his job still, or make the fans just turn against him. Totally turn against him.
100%.
I think Edu's gonna try his best not to sack him, because I think Edu becomes. I think a lot of people are not talking about it, but I think if Arteta don't do well, Edu's job looks a bit more suspect as well. Because I think he was the one that was pushing for Arteta in the first place. You get me? So we'll see what happens.
And that Edu Gaspar, you get me? But Yeah, man. Fuck it, but we're gonna see what happens on Thursday. Then you get me. What you man saying? You gonna come back on for the reaction for that one?
Yeah, man. Come on.
I can reason on that one. You get me. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully we're smiling. Hopefully we're smiling. You get me. So
Yeah. So, man.
Yeah, man. All right. Say no more, then, man. Thursday, innit? After the game, you man don't forget, obviously like, comment, and subscribe to the channel and all of that. Hit these men up on their socials as well. You get me? And yeah, man, I'll be back soon.
Adios.
Come on.
Peace.